pleasant good day to everyone, wherever you're located, whatever your time zone is. Welcome to Crossfire with Sir Butch Valdes and Paglinawan. This is Rita Gadi. Over the past several episodes that we have had, we've come across issues and concerns, personalities, some of them, and we've zeroed in on certain concerns because this is the kind of program you should listen to. Here we have, as a title goes, Underfire at Crossfire, which means that we're hihimayin natin isa-isa, hindi lang yung mga napag-usapan na natin noong nakaraan, from foreign affairs to agriculture, to water, to aquaculture, etc. Pero lahat ng mga bagay-bagay na apektado ang ating buhay. Yan ang mahalagang ating titingnan ngayon. Bakit under fire? Sapagkat hindi lang kailangan tutukan, kailangan ay magkaroon na, as Ado would say, not just the problem, but the solution to the problem, or the problem being the solution itself, whatever it is. So, good afternoon, Sir Butch. Good afternoon, Ado.
Good afternoon. Gusto ko lang din idagdag, Rita, that our program is not geared towards creating a pro or an anti-Marcos thing. Although some might have a tendency to weigh it that way, no? But the objective of us three here in trying to crossfire the ideas is to look for the solution, and for the betterment and success of this administration. And if this administration succeeds, so do the people.
Exactly.
Diba? Ganyan ang objective natin. I think that has to be laid down as a premise so that others don't misunderstand some of the comments that may come out in the discussion.
Precisely. Si Ado naman, 2 libro yan, marami nang bumibili, kaya kailangan ay tumutok na kayo because these are very good books that you have to read. Ano, Ado, di ba?
Yeah,
Okay.
the first book is A Problem for Every Solution,
O, yun.
which makes you understand why China and the Philippines are is inseparable. And the other one is No Vaccine for a Virus Called Racism, which is a historiography of where the origins of the novel coronavirus came from.
Exactly.
And why there was a big cover-up and a big reduced to politics and all that stuff. By the way, my findings have been confirmed by scientific journals like Lancet, by even the Centers for Disease Control of the United States, which became my very basis for my thesis for that book. And finally, how it was spread by whoever originated it to the rest of the world. Now, I would like to empathize with Butch Valdes that we are not here to create dissonance. We are here to throw ideas, to make these ideas clash with one another, and let the best of these ideas reach through you to the President.
Exactly.
That's our position.
Ang sabi nga ni Sir Butch, yun ang ating intensyon. Sabi rin ni Ado, yun ang ating intensyon. And just to let you know, tingnan mo kaming tatlo, ang pinakamatanda sa aming tatlo, ako. Kaya ang aking mga napag-usapan sa nakaraang 4 na taon ay yung tungkol sa panahon ni President Marcos. And then of course, the hiatus that we had of 36 years. Kaya yan ang parati kong binabalikan. 4 na taon, yan ang aking pinag-usapan sa Rita Gadi Hour. Sapagkat sabi ko nga, sa lahat sa nakaupo dito ngayon, ipagpaumanhin ninyo, ngunit talagang I go back in time. Sabi nga ng mga anak ko, siguro nung naglanding si Magellan, nandun ka na at kinover mo na. But going back in time, just about a week ago, sabi nga ni Sir Butch, bakit hindi natin tingnan kung ano yung mga itinayo na agro-industrial programs ng panahon ni President Marcos na pwede sanang tutukan ngayon ng kanyang anak. Nag-research ako dun sa aking mga notes sa nakaraan at just to mention and to continue, yung sinabi nga ni Sir Butch, the 11 major industries nung panahon ni President Edralin Marcos. Number 1, yung copper smelter plant with Marubeni. Japanese firm yan, noong 1983 pa yan. Yung phosphate fertilizer production. Aluminum smelter plant. Kasama yan ang Reynolds Aluminum. Diesel engine manufacturing plant, kasama ang Japan at saka Germany. Ito na yung mga foreign investments ng panahon na yon. Cement industry, yan. Pulp and paper plant. Petrochemical plant complex, so maraming mga subsidiaries yan. Heavy engineering industries and the production of machine tools for large industrial plants. Yung coconut industry natin na napabayaan na rin, sayang, kasi we are really one of the top coconut producing countries in the world. Integrated steel mill, kasama rin ng Austria dyan, Austrian government at one time. Alcogas, for the production of alcohol, which they were intending to have 80% as gas for motor vehicles. So yun, dinagdag ko lang sapagkat last week, na-mention ni Sir Butch yung 11 basic services na yan. Ito mga oligarko, Sir Ado, na naghahawak ng ating public service, sana dito sila tumutok ang kanilang investments.
I remember when the President Marcos then came up with this and announced this early on. I think it was in the 1973-74 period. No, everybody was so inspired, no, was looking forward, no, to the culmination of this whole program, which would have taken some years, no, pero everything was in tune, including his energy development program.
Exactly.
Okay. And it was beautiful because we were looking at a future,
Yes.
and shared the vision of the president. Now, I just want to include in this discussion that President Marcos Jr., Bongbong, in his interview with Tony Gonzaga, just maybe a few days, maybe weeks that he was elected, no, he actually said that he would like to be able to follow, no, the plans and the vision that his father had started. And I was so happy to even hear that, even at this point, no, and that his father's true legacy was that he was a leader, no, the leadership which is very important in running the government. Now, how come there is no mention of all of these things that his father's left as a legacy and needs to be continued so far? Okay, I can only conclude that his econoquacks, his economic advisors, and his friends in the oligarchy, no, intervened and directed him somewhere else, no, and it is no wonder if it is directing away from what his father wanted to do, then he's going to have real difficulties in the future.
So, Sir Butch, what Ferdinand simplifies, Bongbong complicates. All right? Why? Because the old man laid this down very, very simply. The Philippines is an agri-industrial economy.
Oh, yes.
Agriculture, the Green Revolution, and all that stuff.
Right.
And maybe this is what's propelling him to go to the Department of Agriculture because akala niya magtatanim lang siya ng puno doon o ng bigas o ng mais, no? Eh, complicated pala. Meron pala mga smuggler, may mga traders, importers, at iba pa. At 2 beses lang siya nagpunta ron, hindi na siya bumalik. Natakot siguro. Anyway, I am speculating. Doon naman sa kabila, industrial, itong 11 na ito is precisely the food on the plate.
Right.
Pero to be able to get your hands on this, isang susi nito, Rita, Butch, cheap
Energy.
That's right.
So when you run smack into the reality of what we have now, this is how in 37, 38 years, because of the so-called EDSA, and I will clarify it now,
So-called.
the EDSA counter-revolution,
Right.
we were transformed from that productive viewpoint
Mode, yeah.
mode, from a mode of productivity in agriculture and in industries, to a service mode. Naging white-collar factory na naman tayo. And we are the Department of Overseas Contract Workers of the world. Yun po ang nangyari. Bakit? Lahat ng sinimulan ni Ferdinand, pinabagsak ng nagkukunwari na kaibigan natin ngayon. And saan nila tinuhog? Tinuhog nila doon sa hindi ka talaga pwede makakilos kung hindi mo, I'm sorry for this expression, hihimurin ang puwit ko. Hindi ba? Why? Because sa energy nila tinira. Yan ang una nilang privatize. So, dinationalize, sinentralize ni Ferdinand, pinamigay ni Cory sa mga kaibigan niya, binalik sa Meralco sa mga Lopezes, at niraffle na niya sa kanyang mga kaibigan. Yung iba, and what we have now is the imperial law that should control and regulate all this, pero it's not working. We have the highest electricity next only to Japan. Yan ang problema. But Japan is an affluent society, a first world society. We are not. We are still developing up to now. Every time we put our
a slight correction, Ado, before we continue. We are more expensive than Japan now. No? As a matter of fact, I was talking to one of the vice presidents of Hitachi, no? And he was saying that the problem of the Japanese expats here, no, is the cost of electricity in their apartments where they are staying, no? Because they have a budget, and nagugulat sila. How come electricity eats up that much of their budget, no? And they compared it to Japan. Japan is already among the highest.
Yes.
Pero sabi niya, we're higher than Japan. No?
Grabe. We are double that of China.
Exactly.
We are double that of Vietnam.
US.
But going back to what you said earlier, Ado, sabi mo nga, kailangan ng roadmap, kailangan may vision, kailangan may trajectory. Okay, na-zero in na natin ngayon na ang pinagmumulan ng hindi tayo makaandar dito sa mga na ilatag na nung 36, 37 years ago is because of energy. Ngunit, meron ba talagang nakalinya dyan sa nakikita natin na ito na nga ang paghihirap sa energy, ngunit merong papuntahan. Merong, yung napag-usapan natin the last time, in the order of priorities. Meron bang ganon?
Unfortunately, yan yung sinasabi ni Butch na may mga nakapaligid sa kanya na gusto yata tayo maging membro ng NATO. No action, talk only. No action, talk only. Yan ang
Alam mo, a wise man, a very wise man once told me, when I was asking him about his ideas, his projections about the Philippines, he says, ever since your President Ferdinand Marcos, you have had presidents but no leaders. No? I think that was very profound, no matter how simple the statement was. No? Because it is true that even now, Bongbong realizes that leadership is what is necessary. Anybody can be president. As you can see, we've had our presidents, no? But we have survived all of them. No? And now, we are in this situation. And hopefully, something will ring a bell in the attitude of our president and start being his own man. And he tells his economic advisors, this is the direction I want to follow. I want to complete what has not been
Achieved.
achieved at the time. And what do you call this?
The unfinished revolution.
Of
The
President
unfinished.
Ferdinand Edralin
Yeah.
Marcos. Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
That was what we were discussing. I was discussing, as a matter of fact, for the past 4 years. And that is why all of the accusations then were laid to rest, precisely because talaga naman nagkaroon ng foundation at the time. The creation of a new society. We were on the way towards that. At sabi mo nga, Ado, anong nangyari? May trajectory ba? Yung vision ba is laid out clearly? We have had so many speeches, very well delivered, very well written, and really resounding as far as oratorical expertise is concerned. But those are words.
Oh, and
What is the action after the words?
And I see a man in crisis because ang mga lumalabas sa kanyang bibig ay for the privileged few, for the marginalized many, no? Pero ang lumalabas sa mga ginagawa ng galamay niya, I mean, for the marginalized many and not for the privileged few.
Yeah.
Pero lumalabas sa ginagawa ng mga galamay niya is for the privileged few. Even in the nature of the appointments, yung kung sino pa yung may conflict of interest, yun ang nalalagay doon. Anong gagawin nun? Oh, eto na nga eh. Na-experience na natin yan sa energy. Pag yan, ang gobyerno may hawak, yung tubo, ibabalik ng gobyerno sa tao. Sinasabi nila noon, pinaprivatize namin yan kasi hindi kumikita. Kasi nga, hindi kumikita dahil hindi nagdi-declare ng malaking kita dahil hindi ni-discount at ipinapasa sa tao. Ngayon, puro tubo. Nitong pandemic, ang earnings ng Meralco at saka yung mga malalaking, mga dambuhalang Aboitiz power producers na yan, ay nasa billions. Billions, ha?
I would say
Pero ang electric
trillions.
bill natin, nakikipagkarera sa kita nila. So, saan nanggagaling yun? Sa atin. Hindi yun sa efficiency nila. In fact, there might be a shortage of electricity that these people are dealing with right now. No? Ang nakikita ko dito sa tao na ito that is in crisis is that yung utak niya, no, ay a liberal democrat. It's for a representative government, no? Elections. Na-elect ako, di ba? In 2024, kailangan manalo yung partido ko and all that stuff. Yung marginalized many, hindi naman naiwan sa laylayan. No, mabuti na lang, wala na si Leni Robredo. No? Siya nagpauso ng laylayan. So, hindi na makakabalik doon. So, ano mangyayari? We are recalling the old Ferdinand here. Ano sabi ng old Ferdinand? People participation. Huwag mo lang isalba kung saan sila nalugmok. Pagtrabahuhin mo sila, make them a productive people. No? Ano mga polisiya na lumabas na? Ayuda ni
Jokno.
Ayuda, puro ayuda.
Yeah.
Utang.
Yung
Private
ayuda,
sector,
utangin mo
private.
pa. Para lang mabigyan ng ayuda, utangin mo pa. No? And this is the travesty.
Meron ba, even a glimpse, wala pa akong nakikita na towards productivity. So, ano nangyayari ngayon?
How can there be productivity, Ado? Mismong si Jokno declared that agriculture was a sunset activity or industry and that we should veer away from dreaming to be able to be productive in agriculture. What did he mean, or what did he imply? He implied that we must be importers of our food, no? And if there was any excess, we will transfer this and export this. No? That is what he was saying. Because
Captain.
the other countries can do it cheaper than us.
Pero ang sabi naman kasi, napakasipag daw ng ating presidente sapagkat ilang cabinet meetings na nga ang kanyang pinapatawag. Halos araw-araw, ka-meeting niya. Ang mga pinupuntahan niyang mga events, kagaya niyang mga tungkol sa mga balik scientists, yan tungkol dyan sa, nung minsan, andun siya sa isang agricultural fair. Sabi ko nga may hawak na petchay at sabi na, eto na, we're on the way now to productivity at lahat ng yan. Ngunit anong sinasabi naman sa kanilang opisina ng Economic Development Authority? Ay wag naman tayo masyadong malaking gastos. Buy less, ang sabi nga. At kung magpa-party daw, ay wag masyadong malalaking party. Tayo ang magtitipid para magkaroon ng magkakasya kung ano man ang meron. So, yung 31 million na yan na bumoto sa ating Pangulo ngayon, marahil naiintindihan yan o kung hindi man ay tinatanggap. Ngunit kailangan bang tanggapin? Andito tayo sa Crossfire precisely para malaman natin kung ano yung ilalagay natin under fire. Nag-zero in na ikaw, Ado. Talagang energy ang talagang pinaka-importante sa lahat. Ngunit marami pa rin ibang concerns hanggang sa kasalukuyan. Wala pa rin tayo sa Department of Health. Ayan, sinabi mo nga yung isang libro mo tungkol dyan sa vaccine. Anong sabi ni Attorney Presida? Acosta. Aba, yung mga anak ko ay binakunahan 2 weeks, 3 weeks old. Yung mga sakit na yan, diphtheria, lahat na yan, polio, dysentery. Buhay pa hanggang ngayon. May mga asawa na ngayong iba, ang anak pa. Kayo, ilang beses na kayo nagpa-vaccine? O may booster pa. Meron pang second booster. At sari-sari pang ano. Pero nagkakasakit pa lang kayo. Nagkakaroon pa kayo ng COVID. Basahin niyo yung libro ni Ado para makita ninyo talaga kung ano nangyari dyan. Sapagkat ever since talagang naumpisahan niya mga gamot na yan, nagkaroon ng tinatawag na the pharmaceutical mafia. Na talagang sa kinikita lang ang kinakailangan, ngunit kung ano man yung makakatulong talaga para sa tao ay hindi naaasikaso. Kaya mahalaga yan.
Pero
Department of Health, tutukan.
Ako'y nangangamba on a wider scale dahil ang rhetoric pang sumingit ay the peso daw is not weak. Because it's not weak. It's only weak because the dollar is strong. Ito ho ay nanggaling sa panganay na anak ng ating Pangulo. Is this a reflection ng pinag-uusapan nila sa dining table ng First Family? Bakit? I'll give you 2 statistics. Ang devaluation po natin 15.7%. Ang devaluation ng Vietnam, 3%. Is it because the peso is weak and the dong of Vietnam is strong? Hindi po. Productive po yung Vietnam. Masigasig po ang ekonomiya ng Vietnam. Nakakatulong sa karamihan ng mga tao nila ng Vietnam. Nakikinabang ang karamihan. Kaya, ang devaluation natin, dahil hindi ko nga malaman kung anong gagawin ko eh. Buti may bumibili pa ng libro ko. Kung wala na, anong gagawin ko? Ako 75 anyos na. Ako ba pwedeng mag-taxi driver na lamang? Ako ba ay titinda na lang sa palengke? Anong gagawin ko susunod? How will I reinvent myself if I cannot be a productive member of this society? Alam niyo mga kabansa, ang ating gross domestic product sa 110 million people ay $350 billion. Ang Thailand, 500, 200 billion more in GDP kaysa sa atin, sa US dollar. Ha? Pero 70 million lang ang population nila. Alin ang society gusto ninyong kalugdan? Gusto niyo naman pumunta sa Thailand at manirahan bilang Pilipino? O gusto niyo mga Thailand ang pumunta rito at manirahan bilang Thai? Yan ho ang problema. Dahil kung yan ang susundan nating logic, nung maliit po ako, muntik na ako malunod. Hindi dahil malalim ang tubig, kung hindi, maliit pa lamang ako. Yan ang logic ng mga tao na who are only after sound bites, hindi naman nila alam ang implikasyones. And Sir Butch has the explanation kung bakit humihina ang peso at kung bakit lumalakas ang dolyar. Malakas nga ba ang dolyar, Sir Butch?
The dollar is the worst performing currency in the whole world. We are devaluing against the dollar because we are the shock absorbers of this collapse of the US dollar. And this is really happening. It has been happening. And it is the fault of our economic managers when they linked us inextricably, permanently to the US dollar. Kaya pag bumabagsak po ang dollar, dala-dala po tayo. Yan ang nangyayari. At hindi natin masyadong maintindihan para doon sa mga hindi ekonomista. At pag sinabi sa inyo, kanya humihina ang peso dahil malakas yung dollar, nakakagulat po at nakakadismaya po because ang nagsabi nito na si Sandro, ay ang sabi nila siya yung one of the top advisors of the president. No? Kung ganyan yung top advisor mo, delikado tayo. We have to understand what's going on. That's why it's very important that we don't think in terms of the dollar and the peso anymore. No? It's very important that we move the way the father of the president wanted to go into a productive agro-industrial economy. And we can only do that by addressing what Ado has said. We have to dismantle the EPIRA, where the oligarchs control the cost of power and water. Number one yan. Number two, we have to make arrangements with China and Russia. Because the US is not in any position to help us become a productive economy. Ganyan po dapat ang puntahan natin. Ngayon, yan ba ang sinasabi ni Ben Jokno? Yan ba ang sinasabi ni Salceda, ni Balisacan? Hindi po. Alam mo po sa kanilang program, ibenta natin yung buong Pilipinas sa dayuhan. Para ang dayuhan na ang may-ari sa Pilipinas at hindi na tayo masyadong mamumroblema.
Ang strategy kasi ng
That's treasonous. That's a treasonous type of thinking. The policy itself, the policy that is like that, to open the country to be used by rapacious investors, we call them foreign investors. Pag binuksan niyo po ang bansa natin na yan, ang nangyayari po dyan, mas grabe pa sa 10 pandemic na COVID.
Kailangan natin sila, pero ilagay natin sila doon sa kalalagyan nila, hindi para isak yung ating resources and mga institusyon.
Right.
Hindi para wasakin ang ating society.
Maganda pakinggan. Yan sinasabi nga ng ating Pangulo na lahat ng kanyang biyahe, ang mga meeting niya sa Amerika, meeting niya sa Singapore, kahit na ano man ang ginawa niya doon sa pangalawang pagbisita niya, is to attract foreign investors. Wala pong masama doon sa kanyang sinabi, ngunit sa anong mga bagay nga kinakailangan ipasok yung mga investors na yan. Bakit tayo ngayon nagsasalita dito? Ano ang Underfire? Yang mga salita na yan na walang mga kadugsong kung saan papunta yung mga salita. In other words, these are words. Sabi nga namin ni Sir Butch, matagal na namin nakikwento ito sa isa't isa. In ancient times, you had two of the greatest orators. You had Cicero, you had Demosthenes. One was really fantastic with his words, his literary expertise pag nagsasalita, talagang orator. Yung isa ganun din. Ngunit si Cicero hanggang dun lang. Si Demosthenes pag nagsalita, he is able to get, yung sinasabi nga ni Ado, ang tao sumama sa kanya, sa kanyang sinasabi, may patutunguhan. That is what is under fire now, exactly. Kaya sabi nga ni Ado, kinakailangan, kung ano man yung kailangan tutukan, yun ang simulan. At hindi lang yung sa salita, pero ito ang gagawin. Sa agrikultura, nasabi na rin ni Ado nung nakaraan, aquaculture, sinabi nga niya hanggang ngayon, paligid tayo ng tubig, ngunit hirap tayo mag-ani na nanggagaling sa tubig na yan. Yan ang sinasabi mo.
At yung tubig, hindi natin magamit para naman sa agrikultura.
Exactly.
Para sa irrigation. Ngayon ho, itong isa na namang siraulo na senador, no? Si Senator Tulfo. Abay, binabarilo itong kaliwadam. No? We are in danger of losing not only drinking water, ha? Napapansin ko ngayon, pag gabi, humihina ang presyo.
Yes.
Ha? Maliligo sana ako kagabi. Ha? Ay, hindi na natuloy. Pagdating naman ng...
Ilang gabi na yon?
May umaga naman.
Amin.
Nagko-compensate sa umaga. Pero explain ko sa inyo yung detalya kung paano yung currencies ay nagkakasulubong. Bagsak ko, ekonomiya ng UN. Humihina ang dollar. Sabi nga ni Kabuts, the worst performing currency. Alam nyo, ang gagawin ng Amerika, itataas ang interest rates. At halos lahat ng developing countries may utang ho dyan. So, pag tinaas yung interest rates, ibinabalik nila bale yung power na nandyan sa mga ibang countries, no? Pabalik sa Amerika. Ngayon, naramdaman ng Amerika na hindi niya pwede itong gawin over a long period of time. So nakipagkita po si Biden, lisya ko lang ng konti usapan, dito sa Saudi Arabia para ituloy nila at lakihan nila ang production dahil ang inflation ay kinakain ng tayong lahat sa mundo. Ha? Ang sagot ho ng Saudi Arabia sa kanya ay hindi namin pwedeng largahan ang produksyon. We will in fact continue our oil production cut. Bakit yan sinasabi ng US? Kasi less fuel. Pagka may production cut po, will cause worldwide inflation due to high energy costs. At ayaw ng Amerika din yan, pangalawang rason, dahil it benefits Russia. Kasi ang top producing oil producing countries po ngayon is Russia and of course the Middle East. So, President Biden failed to convince the Saudis. Ano ang ginawa ni Biden? We will review our relationships. And you will most likely face consequences. Ayan. Pero sabi naman ng Saudi official, talking points lang daw yun at rhetoric dahil may darating na eleksyon sa Amerika nito pong November. Pero ang akin dyan, wala talagang leverage ngayon ng Amerika. At dito sa nangyayari sa kanyang gera sa Russia na tumutulong sa inflation worldwide dahil nga hindi makakilos ang mga currencies, ang mga resources, ang trade. No? At especially yung urea ng Ukraine at Russia, hindi makarating sa mga katulad natin. Tapos makakarinig ka dito sa former National Security advisor na si John Bolton, a former US ambassador to the US. Dahil sinabi ni Putin, red line ito. Dahil binomba niyo ang aming bridge, dahil tinira niyo ang aming pipeline, ay wag niyo nang ituloy yan. Dahil nag-launch siya ng offensive sa Ukraine, lumawak uli ang gera. At pag hindi pa natigil dyan, sabi ni Putin, baka pindutin ko na ang nuclear war. Alam niyo ba ang sabi ni Bolton? You can ask Qasem Soleimani in Iran what happens when we decide somebody is a threat to the US. It might not happen the next day, but he will be held accountable. Yan ang problema eh. Itong leader kuno na superpower dati is sponsoring state assassinations and is actually an agent for state terrorism. Yan ang dilema ngayon sa mundo. And yet they're also performing as if they are the modern democracy of the world. And that liberal democracy will set us all free.
Ay, nako. Alam mo, yung sinasabi mo nga na nangyayari dyan between Russia and Ukraine, matagal na kasi yan na kailangan na pag-usapan na doon pa lang sa level sa Security Council at lahat ng yan. Ngunit, yun na nga, ayaw kasi ng Amerika na merong ibang bansa na magkakaroon ng power sa mundo. Kaya threatened sila dito sa ating lugar sa mainland China sapagkat ngayon ay malakas na ang mainland China. Threatened din sila sa Russia sapagkat Russia on its own. Itong dalawang bansa na ito, parehong komunista yan. And yet, they have allowed the progress of their people individually at wala na silang ini-invoke na because you're communist, because you're democratic. Wala yan. Ang sabi nga ni Xi Jinping, magnegosyo na lang tayo sapagkat yan pa ang makakatulong sa buong mundo.
It's the economy, stupid.
Yun. O si Clinton mismo nagsabi nun, ba't hindi nila sundan? Kaya yan ang nangyayari. Nagkakaroon ng mga threat dyan. Kamakailan lang, speaking of us, kaming tatlo dito na we are communicating because this is our media outlet. Pero ang ating media, kontrolado rin ng Western press. Kamakailan lang, hindi pa nakakatapos ang isang buwan. Nagkaroon ng isang malaking meeting ng Communist Party sa Russia attended by the 4 governors of 4 provinces in Ukraine. At nagpirmahan sila that they are now actually, and in fact, part of Russia. And Ukraine itself has not been able to identify its borders to be an independent country away from what it was during the time of Gorbachev na nagbigay ng freedom sa mga Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. So, nung pinag-uusapan nila, yan ang sentro. My goodness, Odessa, Ukraine, ang kanilang Orthodox religion, lahat yan. Diyan nagsimula, that's the center of Russia itself. At yun nga ang sinabi ni Putin sa kanyang address doon sa 4 na governors ng 4 provinces. We are invoking the civilization of Russia, the history of Russia, the lahat ng pinanggalingan natin. Tayo yan. Ukraine is Russia. Kaya ayaw tanggapin yan ng mga Amerikano. Yan din nangyayari dito sa atin. Ayaw nilang tanggapin na ang Taiwan is simply a province of mainland China. Biruin mo yan, sasabihin ng isang kasamahan natin sa Foreign Affairs na kung sakaling pasukan ng Taiwan ay sasama tayo sa Amerika para proteksyonan ng Taiwan. Whatever for. Anyway, so mahaba na yun.
By the way, may perception index sa US, 52% ang nagsabi na the US serves the minority or the elite. The same perception index says that 87% in China says that China serves the majority. So, wala na ang ideology ngayon. Sabi mo nga, it's really the economy.
It's really the
That's
economy.
right.
Saan ka in 3 years, my God, 31 million sa kanila. Or ilan yan, 13 million in one province na alleviate. Ngayon, upper middle class na.
The 300, in the last year, 300 million
300 million.
were
I'm sorry.
already
Yeah.
lifted above
Yes.
the poverty
Yeah,
level.
exactly.
China is the only country that can boast that there is no one in their whole population below the poverty line. And no one, not even the US, can contest this. No? That because the quality of life of these people have really been brought up over just one generation.
And they are one
Only one generation. That means 25, 30 years.
Oh,
No?
and they are one-fourth of humankind. Kung sa
Tayo-
total population ng mundo, one-fourth ng population na ay Chinese. Exactly.
Tayo, tinan nyo, 40 years na tayo after the so-called revolution. No? Nag-deteriorate ang quality of life natin. Yung namuno ng mga economic managers na naggawa ng sistema para bumagsak ang kalidad ng buhay natin, nandyan pa rin hanggang ngayon. Binibida pa rin natin. No?
Sa 21 years ni President si Apo, wala tayong makita na kahit na isa dyan sa kanyang tinatawag na crony o kaibigan o kung sino man dyan na humawak ng public service. Wala. Kaya hindi natin makikita ngayon ngayon nakikita natin bakit nagkakaganyan. I just want to go over some of my notes again. Nabanggit ko na ito sa nakaraan. Pinag-uusapan ni Ado at ni Sir Butch itong ang oligarko. Yan. Meron akong definition ng oligarch dito somewhere. Yan. The oligarch galing sa Greek word oligarchia.
Yeah.
It is a despotic power exercised by a privileged
Few.
group.
Yeah.
Yan ang oligarko. It is a despotic power exercised by a privileged group. Yan ang origin ng salitang oligarchia. It exercises all the old kingly powers. They are the aristocratic control by any group. Yan. And they have an alarming control of the economic concentration resulting in corporate concentration. Ngayon, dito sa atin, ang sabi nga ng former Chief Justice natin, si Reynaldo Puno, anong sabi niya, Reynaldo Puno? The Philippine economy is served by 36 commercial banks, but only 4 families control more than 60% of the 7 trillion resources of the entire commercial banking industry. Only 10 families own 60% of the 10 trillion combined capitalization of some 300 business companies in the country. Such a business environment fosters a state of despoticism that aims to pursue the monopoly of the few, thus following a theory of the government of the few, by the few, for the few. Yan. Ito, direct quote ito sa sinabi ni Justice Renato Puno. Yan po ang nangyayari sa atin na sinasabi
yung
niya.
perception, yung panahon ni President, I don't want to compare, but
You have to.
ang sabi kasi, nung tumatakbo si Bongbong Marcos para pagkapangulo, is that this is the continuity. Diba? The party of continuity. Ngayon ho, napapansin ko lamang na nagbabang-aya na yung mga BBM at saka DDS sa social media. Dahil nakikita yata ng DDS na malayo eh. Dinefine ni Rita dito kung ano yung oligarchy, kung ano yung interest na nire-represent nila. Na, parang nagiging perception. Ito ho eh, binulshit po ito. Hindi ko nasasabihin yung explanation sa Tagalog o translation ni Duterte. Pero mukhang kulob. Kulob dito ang mga kaisipan ni Bongbong. Or at least that is what the initial indications show in his choice of his cabinet members. Diyan na. In his activities, no? At saka, so ano nangyayari? Ang gusto nating makitang continuity nito ay hindi lamang doon sa mga sinimulan ni Duterte, kundi lalo-lalo na sa sinimulan ng kanyang ama na nasa tamang direksyon, fit na fit para sa isang nasyon na katulad ng Pilipinas. At nandyan na yung ang sabi ko nga parang walang direksyon. Kasi, naghahanap pa ng direksyon, ando na binigay na ni Ferdinand. Naghahanap pa ng strategy, ando na All you have to do is zero-base the whole thing. Sabi nga, ibalik sa kontrol ng gobyerno ang enerhiya at elektrisidad para makawala yung 11 industries. So, saan pupunta? Pag kinuha natin sa oligarkiya, back ang energy. Doon ho natin sila papupuntahin sa 11 energies and other businesses. Aba, nangyayari ho ngayon, baliktad. Yung pinakamalaking corporation dito sa Pilipinas, no? Ay umaalis ng dahan-dahan sa agrikultura. At saan siya nagpupunta? Sa Skyway. Dahil sa Skyway, sa mga toll roads, at sa crudo, sa energy, guaranteed ho ng batas ang kita nila.
Yes.
Hindi sila pwedeng malugi.
Yeah.
Oo, pero sa agrikultura, they have to. Sa chicken lang, hindi pala. Ito problema, narinig ko yung in charge sa chicken na cooperative. Hindi pa pala nawawala ang avian flu. No? Yung
Tuloy-tuloy yun.
yung sa mga baboy, sa mga hogs, meron din silang problema.
Swine
flu. No? Oh my
Tuloy.
God.
By the way, gusto ko lang dagdagan yung sinabi mo. Nakulangan ako ng konti, no? Dito sa oligarko, ang paghawak nila, mailipat ang pagpapatakbo ng kuryente at tubig sa gobyerno. Para ano? Dahil ang gobyerno kaya ngayon bawasan ang halaga ng binabayad ng mga tao at mga pangangalakal sa gastusan ng kuryente. Gaano kalaki ang kaya nilang bawasan? Higit pa sa 50% hanggang 75% kaya nilang ibabayad. Mantakin nyo, kung ang gastos ninyo 3,000 pesos a month, no? Ang babayaran mo na lang 1,000. Kasi yung 2,000 na ibalik sa inyo sa bilang isang diskwento sa singil sa inyo ng kuryente. Ang mga pangalakal, all businesses, whether small, medium, and large, will be also saving up to 2/3 of what they pay in electricity. What have we done if this is happening? Overnight, you would have increased the purchasing power of our people by tremendous amounts. No? This goes into the trillions. You would have increased the amount of capital available to businesses so that they can expand and generate labor. No? And yan ang unang-unang step towards not just survival, but development. No? Yung mga oligarko na makukunan ng itong mga nabigay na mga kuryente at pwede natin sila ilagay dito sa mga industriya yung sinasabi natin, 11-point industries. At doon natin sila tulungan para kumita ng gusto. Pero pagdating dito sa public utilities, responsibilidad po ng gobyerno, protektahan ng tao. No?
Kasi apektado yung disposable income ng karamihan. At alam niyo, ang kasiyahan ng isang first world country ay hindi doon sa kung ano pa man, kung hindi doon sa kung gaano kalaki ang kanilang disposable income na pwede pa nilang ilagay for their personal happiness. Outing, turismo,
Or food.
better food. Diba? For the family.
Ang dami ngayon. Para lang mabayaran yung Meralco dahil puputulan sila, hindi sila kakain ng 2 beses. 1 beses ang araw na lang. Dahil ang laki-laki ng singil ng Meralco sa kanila. Yun ang nangyayari. Takot na takot silang maputulan ng kuryente.
Paano kumikita ang mga oligarko dyan? Sa susunod naming programa, dadalhin namin yung resibo ninyo sa sa Meralco at yung resibo ninyo sa tubig. Hihimayin natin. Hindi ko memoryado ito, ngunit yung aking pinagtatakahan, binabayaran natin ang taxes nila. Binabayaran natin yung kanilang mga tubo
Losses.
at mga connection. Binabayaran natin, lahat ng kapitbahay natin ang dadaya sa electric. Yung tinatawag na systems loss.
Systems loss.
Kung sakaling nakita nila sa kalsada mo ay bumababa o tumataas o meron nangyayaring pagnanakaw ng elektrisidad, binabayaran natin yan. Andun yun. Binabayaran natin yung kanilang gagawin pa. Hindi pa ginagawa, pero nakalista na nagagawin pa, meron ng billing yan. Yan ang nangyari nung nadiskubre nga ni President Duterte. Aba, kakasuhan tayo nun sa Hong Kong na magbayad ng ilang taon dahil humingi daw sila ng increase sa rate ng tubig. Tubig yun, di ba?
Big,
At hindi inaprubahan. Kaya yung hindi nila na-increase sa loob ng 4-5 taon, ay tayo nagbabayad. Kasi sana kinita nila. Pero kasi hindi nila kinita, babayaran natin. Kaya sa susunod, dadalhin namin.
Bago
yung
po
mga-
natin tapusin
Oo.
itong subject na ito, gusto ko lang malaman niyo. Yung pong ginagawa natin, galit tayo sa oligarko. Pero yung mga oligarko, may kapartner yan sa gobyerno. Ito yung tinatawag nilang public-private partnership. No? Yung mga nasa gobyerno, sino ito mga ito? Yung mga namumuno, yung mga nasa Senado, yung mga nasa Kongreso, yung mga nasa kabinete. Yan mga yan ay kasama dito sa pagloloko, sa paghawak dito sa ating buhay ng ating bansa. This is what is happening. That's why when you say oligarchy, the few includes members of government. At napakabigat po dahil trilyon-trilyon ang kinikita nito. Dali-dali nilang pagmudmurin ng pera ang mga liderato natin. Kanya wala kayong naririnig sa Senado o sa Kongreso na binabatikos itong sitwasyon na ito.
Kaya sinasabi nga ay anong nangyari? 21 years, hawak ng pamahalaan, hawak ng taong bayan ang pamamalakad ng ating public services. Kailan tayo nagkaroon ng mga brownout? After 9 February 1986. Para ihanda na nagkaka-brownout kasi hindi kaya ng pamahalaan magpatakbo. 21 years ng panahon ni President Marcos, umaandar lahat yan. Nilipat lang sa private. Kaya ang ginawa nila, 1 taon, 2 taon, panahon ni Mrs. Aquino, nagkaka-brownout tayo, doon na pumasok yung sinasabi nga nilang epirado. Ilipat na sa private kasi mas magaling sila magpalakad. Mas magaling sila magpalakad ng papasok sa kanilang bulsa. We have nothing against what they will be earning. Marami dyan nagsikap para yumaman, marami dyan nagmana, mga anak ng pare o anak ng unang panahon pa na hinati-hati ang ating bayan sa kanila. Whatever it is, they deserve what they also work for, but we also deserve public service and public justice. Yan ang mahalaga dyan. Kaya wag natin kalimutan na nung panahon ni President Marcos, 21 years, okay lahat yan. Nangyari, natigil. Yung sinasabi nga ni Ado, nagkaroon ng EDSA, kung ano man ang nangyari doon. Ngayon, yung unfinished revolution ni President Marcos, bakit niya tinawag revolution? It is the revolution of the poor. Ang mga mahihirap na sinasabi nga ni Ado, ang kailangan iangat upang sila naman ay makatikim ng magandang buhay. Yan din ang sinabi ni President Duterte, a life of dignity and honor for every Filipino. Yan din ang sinasabi ni President Bongbong Marcos. Ang pangarap nyo ay pangarap ko. Mr. President, hanggang ngayon nananaginip pa po kami. Sumama ka po sa aming pagtulog at kayo'y gisingin mo kami kagaya ng paggigising namin sa iyo ngayon.
Okay.
Sinasabi nga natin, like for instance, Ado knows our president personally. So does Butch Valdes. I don't have to elaborate where I'm coming from. 1965, Diyos ko po, hindi pa kayo pinapanganak. Ang tanda ko na kay Ado, ang tanda ko kay Sir Butch. Kaya, kaya kong magsalita. No, I'm 77.
Oh, konti lang.
Butch is 70.
5. I'm
See,
75.
75. I'm still 2 years older, 3 years older than both of you gentlemen. Kaya kung ako maingay magsalita na nung panahon namin ni President Ferdinand Endralin Marcos ay pinananindigan ko yan. So that's exactly what it is. Do we have our messages? Is magandang hapon po, gabi sa inyo. Arroyo Jeanette, Imelda Palapal, good afternoon, evening. I agree in the end. Those beautiful speeches are just words and words are cheap. We needed to see some actions too. Yes, I agree. Cesar Soberano, good afternoon. Crossfiring Patriots. Tayo yon. Jinky Bill, salamat po. Magandang gabi po ulit sa inyo, mga sir at ma'am. It's time to listen and learn again something important to the three of you. Watching from Germany. Conversions sa Hong Kong. Gandang hapon po. Miss you, Ma'am Rita Gadi. Well, I'm here now, so don't miss me too much. Maribig Management, hello po. Virginia Oliveras, good afternoon po. Watching from Australia. Christopher Cruz, if PBM is serious to push for industrialization, he should solicit the support of the military, police, and lastly, the people. Frank Resma, watching from Tagaytay. Rosalina Mond, good evening, Madam Rita, Sir Butch, Sir Ado. Good evening, Ted Rosalina. Philip Dolete, Ma'am, ikaw pinakabata, wala akong banggitin sino ang matanda. Mukha lang yan. Actually, sabi nga, I have not touched my face any which way. Sabi nung sino ba ito, si Sofia Loren, do not do anything with your face because you might not be able to get back to it.
That's right.
Romy, yan. Si Romy Aboy, may anay sa Senado. Naku, ang dami po. Talagang marami pong anay dyan. Celos, Carinos, hello, watching from Japan. Fernando Jose, Ben Jokno, it sucks. Amboy talaga ang whatever. Gloria Abarintos Datu, watching from Tokyo, it will be the yuan. Ayan na. Fernando Jose, economic manager sa BBM is not lifting their fingers to defend the peso. They let it go. BBM should do something. Hirap ng mga tao sa inflation na yan. 6.3% ang inflation. Diyos ko po. Jean Jaggers, watching from the United Kingdom. San Lorenzo Ruiz, Sacramento TV. Also, TY sa lahat, Ma'am Rita Valdes Cado, right, Russia will be the winner. Europe is turning back on the USA. Lies again. The dollar will not be the dominant currency. It will be replaced by the rupees. Nag-uusap na sila, ha? India and all the rest. Oo. Helen Etuista, watching from Italy. Raz Latap Ranieses, mga katipon, magandang gabi sa inyo. Mabuhay kayo watching from Thailand. Bernardo Raquel, in YouTube, I always read, so the dollar is a fiat money and will not be dominant of all currencies. The reality is dollar is strong. Dollar is stronger than the euro. Vilma Gobrekracht, Marcus Loyal is watching from Germany. Good evening, Ma'am Rita and company. Mabuhay kayo. Adrian Abuyan, good evening po sa inyo. Ma'am Rita at Sir Butch at Sir Ado, watching from Cagayan Valley. Vicky Valerio Houston, happy to see you, Miss Rita. Kilala kita since the time of the late Apo. Ako po, President Mar, matagal na yon. I'm still young that time, watching you from Europe. Thank you very much. Jair Balico, mahirap sa taong bayan ang mga oligarko. Dapat ilagay sa gobyerno ang kontrol ng pamamalakan ng ating enerhiya at patubig. Whatever the Japanese name is, mabuhay po Katipunan. Salamat, sir, ma'am, sa mga aral. Mother Chill, wow, Mr. Butch, simple arithmetic and principle and method log. Bakit po di pa agad gawin yan? Start na ang disk ng kuryente. My goodness, BBM, makinig ka naman. Gusto pa yata mag-rally ang madlang people dyan sa overdue rebates namin sa Meralco na yan. Correct ko po. Public justice. Yeah, tama. Okay, so, before you have any words?
Yeah, I will continue to plug. Maraming salamat po sa inyong suporta. The first 2 weeks of the launch of my Christmas book sale was very successful. Tuloy-tuloy lang po. Mag-text kayo sa 0917-336-4366. Pwede rin yung tanong kung ano ang synopsis niyan. Meron akong pwedeng sabihin sa inyo sa text. Package at 1,200 kasama na po ang free delivery within the Philippines. Kung kayo nasa abroad, maghanap kayo ng kamag-anak kung saan namin pwede ipadala rito ang inyong order. At yung mga order po, sa January 1 or 2, iraraffle po namin ang libro ni President Xi Jinping, no? The Governance of China. Yan po ay collector's item. Maraming salamat ulit.
Sir Butch?
Yes, well, hope. Pag-asa, wag po kayong mawawalan ng pag-asa. maski na po napakahirap ng yung darating na panahon. No? At kung hindi kayo mawawalan ng pag-asa, siya na rin kami. Kasi kung kami po ay umaasa sa inyo.
Exactly. So ako naman, sabi ko, pabalik-balik ako madalas. I always talked about the Greeks. Parang yun ang aking reincarnation ngayon. Eh. But I go back also to Shakespeare. In Macbeth, Act 5, Scene 5. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets its hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Yan po ang Underfire sa Crossfire ngayong hapon na ito. Thank you very much for having joined us, Sir Ado, Sir Butch. This is Rita Gadi.